Mike, good morning to you. Welcome to MLB Central. We are also proud to announce that Mike will serve as the general manager for Team USA at the 2026 Classic. Congratulations. Thrilled for you. An opportunity to lead men. What are you looking forward to the most?
It's truly an honor and a privilege to work with Team USA. The WBC has just grown into such a tremendous tournament. You showed some of the highlights as we opened up there, and it just gave me goosebumps. I was in the ballpark when that happened last tournament, and I'm just excited to get to work with our newest team and hopefully bring a championship for USA.
Okay, so we have a general manager. We need a manager. What do you got?
Well, give it to us.
You know, every GM needs a partner in crime, and you need someone in the dugout who's going to support and do all those things to get their team going. You know, I think, last tournament we had a pretty good manager. I think, D-Row, do you remember who that manager was?
Yeah, I think it was me, Mike. I think I remember it being me.
No doubt. And I think we need to run it back because we've got some unfinished business. And I'm excited and proud to announce that Mark DeRosa will be leading us.
Hey, all right. Let's go. I honestly couldn't be more honored and humbled to do it again. I wanted another crack at it. I made it known that I wanted another crack at it. I wanted an opportunity to work with Mike. Actually, funny story, you hired, I think it was Don Mattingly at the time? I don't remember the year. I think it was right around 15, 16. I went down and interviewed sneakily for the Marlins job. I had a relationship with Jeffrey Loria through Penn and Columbia, and I went down and I sat with Mike, and he interviewed me, and I was kind of going through the whole process. So I've known him a long time. We share a lot of similar philosophies on how we want to attack it. I'm so fired up to get in. Last time I got in a little bit late. Things were already kind of in motion. And want to do the roster the right way, attack it the right way. And, yeah, it's one of the coolest moments of my life to get out there and get back in a fight with those guys. But we're going there with one mission.
I love it. Congratulations to both of you. Michael, let me ask you this. This is the first time in the history of Team USA that the same manager is going to be managing in two consecutive World Baseball Classics. What does that continuity do for your team's efforts to win it all?
I think that is a huge point, and one that didn't go unnoticed when we were looking at managerial options. D-Row brings such a resume to the table, and his experience with previously doing it just made so much sense in bringing him back. He's been through the tournament. He's been through the ups and downs. He obviously is very familiar with the league and the players in the league. And I just think it just makes so much sense when you talk about continuity in that manager position and continuity of message and continuity of what the ultimate message and goal is in this. And he can speak to coming up a little short the last time and what we need to do collectively to get over the hump and make sure that we do everything we need to do to bring home a championship.
Dira, you loved playing in it. What did the players say about their experiences?
To a man, the last out was made, Mike Trout against Shohei Ohtani, and as we're walking up the tunnel, I was really upset about it. Yeah. I wanted Mike to come through. I knew this would live on. This moment would live on, but I knew what it meant for the game of baseball, for Ohtani to be facing Trout in that moment. The WBC, when we did it in 2009, it was the second installment, I believe, and it was still new, and we felt like we were showing up as a friendly and getting to know each other. That is not the case anymore. This has turned into, let's get after it. Japan means business. Obviously, the Dominican's going to have Albert. We took on a Venezuela team in Miami. That was a World Series atmosphere. It was. Trey Turner's Grand Slam. So it has grown in popularity, grown in importance to the people doing it, and I hope the players that have done it in the past and the new guys coming this time that'll be added to the roster. It is a playoff game that smacks you in the mouth second week of spring training. It's incredible.
Mike, you said you share a lot of the same philosophies with D-Row. D-Row last year labored over the uniforms and the sweatsuits. Where do you stand on
He said to me, don't kid yourself.
Versus USA sweatsuits off the plane? Because we all voted, the whole crew, we all had a say last year.
Well, Lauren, you know me. You've known me for a long time. I'm all about the swag.
He is.
We want to be unified. We want to look good because there's an old saying: "Look good, play good."
That's right.
And something that we're going to set the tone from the beginning. We're going to look sharp. We're going to play sharp, and we're going to play to win.
Well, Michael, we're thrilled for you. We're obviously thrilled for our colleague and our buddy here, D-Row, as Team USA hopefully can bring home the big trophy in next year's World Baseball Classic. Congratulations, and I'm sure that we'll get a chance to catch up with you during this whole process, but thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Kyren Paris is good enough to join us here on this edition of MLB Central. Hey, right now, every day's a good morning, right, Kyren?
Yes, it is. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you. How would you explain what you're doing at the plate? Because it has not come easy for you, but to have this success, what does this mean for you right now?
Oh, it means everything. This is everything that I prayed for, and just all the hard work that I've put in, and just having success here. It's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
Do you ever go up to Mike Trout and say, "Hey, you ever had 11 hits, 5 home runs, 4 stolen bags, and a 4.40 average to start the season"? No, you have not.
No, I haven't said that, but I'm pretty sure he probably has. He's done it all.
No one's done it. You're the only one.
You're the only one.
Only one.
Wow. Dang, that's special.
Kyren, you're the topic of discussion here at the network. Yeah. Justin Upton was in town the last 4 days, and I'm telling you, we had at least 4 or 5 discussions just about you, digging into your swing. He was saying that it doesn't look like Judge, and I was sold on it. I see the hip hinge. I see the move that you're making this year that's different from last year. Is it the Judge that you're doing right now? Is that the adjustment that you made last offseason?
I wouldn't call it exactly Judge, but it's definitely a version of it. I was able to work with Richard Skank this offseason, Aaron Judge hitting guy, and he helped me just make my swing more efficient. And the hover is definitely like Judge, and I kind of just made it my own, and it's been working, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it.
Kyren, jumping off that, watching the game last night, obviously the ball flies to right center in Steinbrenner Field, but you hit 2 absolute tanks out that way. And I heard you in a quote say, "I've always had pop, I just had to kind of release it." And you think this move for you is kind of getting you to that point where you can start driving the ball all over?
Definitely. One thing that, Rich always talks about is having launch quickness, and I feel like that's what I have now. And a lot of the pitches that I would foul off or swing and miss at before, I'm getting the barrel to it, and it's just making me hit the ball more consistent on the barrel.
Kyren, what really convinced you to make this change? And the only reason I ask is because so many players know you need to make an adjustment, but at the same time, you make it to the big leagues. Like, you get there, and what you're doing gets you to this certain point in your career. And it's got to be extremely intimidating to say, you know what, let me throw that away, try something completely different, and I have to live with the result. Granted, you got off to a hot start, but you didn't know that at the time. Like, what did it take for you to be convinced that you needed to do something different?
Really just learning from my failures last season. My biggest goal was to be an everyday big league player, and what I was doing at that time wasn't really pushing me in that light. So I made the adjustments this offseason, and that was my main goal, just being an everyday big leaguer and being able to come out there and help the team win every day.
Kyren, you're a product of MLB Develops. What has that program meant to you, and not only you, but the other players that are in the league and in professional baseball?
Oh, it means everything. Just coming up through the MLB Developers program, they taught me a lot. From the age I was 14, when I was super young, just being out on my own, they taught me how to become a man, not only on the field but off the field. And they've done a tremendous job with all the guys, and it's really a brotherhood. So every time we see each other, it's like old times. So it's definitely a brotherhood that I'm glad to be a part of.
Kyren, you were in the 2023 Futures game, and you were managed by our own Harold Reynolds. What was that experience like for you?
That was super cool. It wasn't the first time that I met Harold. I actually met him at an MLB Develops program when I was super young. But just to see him years later in the Futures game, that was a special moment. And we just had good conversation, and I was just super excited to be there.
I saw a quote from your manager. He said if it took 11 games to make a Hall of Famer, there'd be quite a few. And then he laughed and he said, "I'm just trying to keep him humble." What's that dynamic? What's that relationship like?
Oh, we have a great relationship. That kind of explains it. Just staying humble and just maintaining what I'm doing and stay consistent every day. That's the biggest thing that he preaches, and that's what I do every day. Just show up and ready to work and stay consistent.
Kyren, last one from me. Tell me a little bit just about the energy of the team. You can see a difference in how the Angels are playing baseball this year. You have a good mix of some veteran guys like Mike Trout, but then you have a lot of young players as well. Explain that dynamic and what the expectations for the team are this year.
It's definitely special right now. I keep using the word electric, and that's kind of what it's been the past few series. We won 3 series in a row, and the clubhouse, we're all just celebrating and, just picking each other up, and it's been special. So we definitely want to keep that energy going and, bring winning to Anaheim.
Kyren, what'd you have for breakfast? Got to get ready for a Wago. Got to get fueled up.
Today, just had an omelet and some French toast, so I'm ready to go for this 1 o'clock game.
What's the omelet? Ham and cheese? Hot sauce?
Ham, bacon, and cheese.
Ham, bacon.
There you go.
Okay.
A lot of protein there. Hey,
I think you tell a lot about a guy by what he eats for breakfast.
I agree. And I know whatever Kyren Paris has been eating, it has been working. So don't change anything, Kyren. Thanks a lot for joining us. Best of luck today, and good luck the rest of 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Good to see you guys.